Thank you, Jennifer. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Welcome to the 2017 football season. For this, the first of our regular teleconferences of our 12 football coaches during the season. These will go every Monday at this time, right up through the conclusion of the regular season. And we'll have the two coaches in our American Athletic Conference Championship game on for a final teleconference the week before that game. Please be aware that this call is being recorded. An archive will be available on the Americans YouTube channel later on this afternoon. We'll have each coach on for approximately 10 minutes. Our format is we will ask for each for an opening statement, and we'll have time for questions. The prompt to get into the queue for questions, if you hit *1 on your telephone at any time, that will put you in the queue for questions for the particular coach. We do have some quick schedule adjustments for today's call only. We do not expect to have Major Applewhite from Houston on this week. They're obviously dealing with things far more pressing than football at this point, so we at the conference pass along our best wishes for the safety of the Houston and the Texas coastal region. We may have a representative from Houston on in that time, at 11:50 a.m. Eastern time, to give an update kind of on the status of the team, but I don't expect that we will have Coach Applewhite on from Houston. And also USF coach Charlie Strong, normally scheduled to join us at 12:10. He will be moved to 1 p.m. Eastern time, noon Central today, instead of that normal 12:10 p.m. time slot. That is a one-time adjustment for today's call only. Leading off for today's call, though, we are right on time. We have Ken Niumatalolo, head coach at Navy. The midshipmen open their season this Friday at Florida Atlantic. That game will be an 8 p.m. Eastern time start and will be televised on ESPNU. Coach, thank you for joining us on the call this morning. Welcome to the season. And can we get your thoughts on the preseason, please, and then the opening matchup with FAU?
Well, I guess, if it's okay, first and foremost, I, too, would like to, express to Coach Applewhite in Houston, Cougars, just our thoughts and prayers with all of them, all of the people, the millions of people down in Houston in that area being affected by the storm. And, football is obviously an important deal, but there are things way more important. So, our thought and prayers are with all of them. For the Navy football program, our football camp, has gone well, I think. You never really know until the season starts. Hopefully, it's gone well. We haven't had any major injuries, so, guys have worked hard. It's been a normal camp, and we'll see what happens.
We'll take questions for Coach Niumatalolo, please. Again, *1 on your telephone keypad will put you in the queue, and then the operator will introduce you.
And we'll go first to Tim Reynolds with the Associated Press.
Good morning, Coach. I'm curious. Week 1 games, it's so difficult to really scout effectively anyway. But with a whole new, with new coaching staff there, and really not much to provide much in the way of clues. How do you scout for this week?
Well, you just try to do your homework. You just try to do the best you can, and looking at Lane's history, obviously you're, phenomenal coach, been very successful in many places. He's got numerous national championships, been in the league, but you just kind of look back at his history where he's been at Alabama, SC, Tennessee, just try to see things you can get from there. Obviously, Kendall Briles, coming from Houston, Baylor, all those places. So he's been with, learning from his dad all those years. The years of just so he's got a long history too of football and knows what he's doing. Obviously Chris, his brother, has been at some places, Ole Miss, and has got a long history. So you just kind of try to do your homework, try to see what people have done. Obviously, like I said, we've looked at Kendall Briles' background, you look at Lane's background, and try to prepare for what you think they'll do. On the other side, you try to see where all that Chris has been at, and try to see option teams that they played, when they were there. Also looking at his dad, obviously when he's coached at SC in different places, obviously not at the league, but maybe some ideas that they might do that way. And you just try to look at personnel. Obviously they're getting some transfers, and just try to see who's in, who's eligible, who's going to be able to play immediately if there's anybody like that. And so try to do the best you can, but you got to get to the game and adjust. And, fortunately our staff's been together for a long time, and we try to wait to see what people do. But we've been doing this a long time, and so we just kind of see, especially on offense, because what we do is so different. So you don't know what people are going to do to you. But, we've pretty much seen everything, in the years that we've done this. And so we just kind of adjust from there and just kind of see what happens.
We can go on to the next question, please.
We'll go next to Leo Haggerty with It's Sports Magazine.
Good morning, Coach.
Morning, Leo.
Coach, there's two things you can't coach, and that's size and speed. And in a majority of your games, the opposition is bigger and faster. How do you counteract that?
Discipline, toughness. Football is still a team game, and I'm a firm believer in building cultures and building teams. And the strength of a unit is stronger than the strength of one. And that's always kind of been our mantra, just who we are. We try to build teams, try to build closeness, try to build unity, family atmosphere, a team that loves each other. And so maybe we may not be as fast or as strong as the guys on the other side, but hopefully our commitment to each other, our unselfishness and doing your job to the best of your ability will help overcome that. And that's kind of our calling card. Just from a cultural standpoint, yes, we know we're not going to be as fast or as strong as anybody, but we got to feel like we're the closest team in the country. That we love each other more than most teams. Got to feel like we're the toughest team in the country, and we got to feel like we're the most disciplined team. And those are the things that we emphasize and stress. I don't know if it works or anything, but that's how we try to combat that.
Coach, everybody knows about Army-Navy, but what team in the AAC do you consider your biggest rival?
We've just started in this league, but there's a lot of good teams in our league. We've had some tough battles with a lot of teams, and so, we've only been in the league 2 years, but every game seems like a barn burner for us. Right now, I don't know if we've been in the league long enough to create any rivalries. We just want to win every game we play.
Coach, last question, and thank you for your time. The AAC lost 3 head coaches to Power 5 conference schools. Does that validate the level of football that's played in the AAC?
No doubt. It just shows you the, Power 5 schools are looking to our conference because they recognize the quality of football. Not only good football players, there are a lot of good coaches, a lot of good football programs, and over the past couple of years, there have been some wins in our conference against Power 5 schools that have validated all of that. And it's nothing that, I didn't know. You recognize that this is a really good league and playing it. But to see other guys, get hired, you're excited for them. But it just proves that this is a really good football league.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, Leo.
Any time for one more for Coach Niumatalolo, please.
We'll go next to Dan Tortora with WakeUpCalledIt.com.
Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Hey, Dan. How you doing? Good to talk to you.
Good to talk with you, too. Forgive me if you were asked this before I came on a little bit late, but to the 2 gentlemen and your 2 captains that you brought along with you to the American Athletic Media Days, just what you can say about the 2 gentlemen that you brought with you, their leadership going into this season, and just what you can say about why they've risen to where they've risen to on this team.
With DJ Palmore on defense, our starting outside linebacker, and Dale Barner, one of our starting slot backs. I couldn't have been more pleased with them and how they conduct themselves this offseason. But it started all the way back in January when we got back from our bowl game and off Christmas break. They set a standard with the seniors and the rest of the team, and what they wanted, the mission and the goals of this year to be. And I've just been very impressed with them from then. Our winter workouts, spring practice, just the summer workouts, fall camp. They've done a really good job in leading our team both on and off the field. And the Naval Academy, first and foremost, is a leadership institution, and they've been, great leaders amongst a lot of really good leaders. And I've just been really pleased with the way They're teaching our culture, teaching how we do things, and I'm really excited about them. They've led more by example. They've kept the standard up, and I just been really pleased, and I feel really good about these two guys.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan.
Which we will take one more for you if we can. Can you get this last one in?
We'll go next to Bill Wagner with Baltimore Sun.
Hey, Coach. Looking ahead to Friday with FAU, I mean, obviously they have brought in a lot of talent, and has it been hard to scout them and kind of get a game plan for what you're going to see when you don't really know their personnel, or is that not really the focus when you're going into the opener? Do you just kind of say we got to play our game and do what we do and not worry so much about the actual opponent?
Well, no, you always try to find out as much as you can about your opponent, schematically, personnel-wise. I mean, everybody does their analytics and stuff to try to prepare. But you just try to prepare the best you can. Like you said, there have been some transition, new staff, some different people coming in. But you got to just figure out, who are going to be eligible immediately and who's not. And you just kind of go from there. We know that there are really good coaching staff. Coach, Lane's a really good coach. He's hired really good coaches. They're acquiring a lot of good talent. So good coaches, good talent makes for a tough combination. So we're expecting to play a really good team, and so that's all you can do to prepare. Just prepare the best you can. Maybe you don't know exactly who they're going to be at some spots, but you know that they're going to be super talented and well coached.
In terms of offense, do you prepare for the Kendall Briles Baylor offense, or do you prepare for a Lane Kiffin Alabama, whatever he's done in the past?
I think you kind of do both, with the emphasis of, hey, if, you prepare for Kendall's stuff and stuff that he and his dad did at Baylor, then you also, see some of the stuff that, Lane did also at Alabama and at SC and Tennessee, and, just try to see if there's some stuff there, maybe some crossover stuff, but you just try to acquire as much information you can. You don't want to overload your kids, but you just try to make sure that you can try to prepare the best you can for all that.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, Wags.
Coach, thanks for the time. Thank you for the time today. Look forward to hearing from you again next week.
All right, Chuck. See you.
All right. Coach Ken Niumatalolo from the Naval Academy.